The following opinions are solely those of BoatTEST.com and its test captain.
Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTEST.com, and today we're going to conduct a features inspection of a distance cruising yacht that allows her guests to live in comfort and bring with them enough gear and food for long periods away from the dock, and for that matter, away from land. Welcome aboard the Fleming 55. The Fleming's 55 is 31 years old, and while her classic exterior has changed little in that time, her features and accommodations details have undergone thousands of improvements and refinements. Many of these came from Tony Fleming himself as he cruised the boat, but even more over the years came directly from the owners. The result is a boat that is remarkably comfortable to cruise in and to live aboard. Let's start our inspection in the cockpit. The cockpit on the Fleming 55 is one of the keys to its success because it is so large, deep, and versatile. It's 130 square feet in area, 29 inches deep, and surrounded by a standard teak cap rail that's 8 3/4 inches wide by 1 3/4 inches thick, and that circles the whole boat. A near identical looking fiberglass cap rail is available as an option, and Fleming tells us that 80% of the buyers choose this no maintenance option. The deck comes standard with 5/8 inch thick teak which runs up the side decks and into the Portuguese bridge. The swim platform is 30 inches fore and aft, which is wide enough to welcome visiting friends in their tenders. Pull-up cleats at each quarter are handy for tying up painters. The transom door is on the center line. It's on a solid stainless steel post that can take the weight of the door far better than conventional hinges screwed into fiberglass. Just inside is the standard shower with hot and cold water and a hose long enough to reach over the transom. The rear hatches in the deck open to the lazarette, which is a good place to store a table, deck chairs, and other gear. Because the cockpit is so large, it can be set up with several tables for cocktail parties or alfresco dining. It's also ideal for launching scuba divers with plenty of space to store dive tanks and an air compressor. Casual anglers can use it for fishing, and we'd add a couple of rod holders in the teak cap rail for trolling underway for a fresh dinner. Owners going up the inside passage to Alaska might want to have several crab pots stored here for the same purpose. Fleming recently lengthened the overhead boat deck by 3 feet, which provides more shade, but also permits the cockpit to be buttoned up for 3-season cruising. Chairs can be placed here for an evening cruise, and it becomes a sunroom in the daytime. Another popular entertaining area is the flying bridge. Access to the Flybridge from the cockpit is up these teak treads or choose this inside access staircase. Behind the helm is a U-shaped settee with a teak table opposite an L-shaped bench seat. The cushions are plush and comfortable, and the area is large enough for 11 people. A handy dumbwaiter goes from an upper cabinet in the galley to the flying bridge, making delivery of food and drinks easy and safe. There are storage lockers under all the seats. For owners who like to entertain, this will be a prime venue. With the tender launched and the cradles removed, the boat deck space can be used for a cocktail party or, with the addition of folding chairs, a sunning venue. A radar edge comes standard, but our test boat had an optional hardtop, which we recommend for UV protection and the added utility it provides, and serve as a mounting place for the radar, antennas, and domes for the Sat TV and phones. Moving below, the double doors from the cockpit to the salon are 46.5 inches wide and create a large accessway when opened. The salon is open and bright thanks to the large windows around it. The overhead clearance is 6 feet 8 inches, and note the teak handhold down the center line. The deck is laid with 1/4 inch teak as standard. To port is the L-shaped dinette with teak table. The table has a clever adjustment invented by Tony Fleming that allows it to lower into a cocktail table for entertaining. All drawers in the salon are teak and have positive latch push-pulls. Drawers have dedicated cutouts for the ship's stemware, crystal, and bottles. All upholstery is ultra leather, and the starboard quarter is a flat screen TV that raises and lowers on an electric lift. The galley is to port, and it's in the standard horseshoe layout, which maximizes the granite counter space and keeps the cook secure in a seaway because of its narrow alley. A double basin sink includes a garbage disposal, and it's outboard by the window, which opens above the backsplash for natural ventilation. Cooking is all in one area with the convection microwave above the 4-burner induction cooktop with C-rails. Below is a large oven. A clever pull-out drawer is over the stovetop, and on the right is a handy pantry with shelves. On the opposite side and to the left of the sink is the dishwasher. A full-size stand-up 21 cubic foot refrigerator is on the starboard side. From the galley area, it's just 3 steps up to the pilot house. Under the treads is storage with rope lighting. At the top of the steps is a door which permits night running. To the left is the companionway, which has 5 steps to the accommodations deck. The lower deck layout of the Fleming 55 has the master stateroom forward and 2 guest staterooms amidships. Looking through an arched doorway that is 24 inches wide, we find the master. Except for the overhead, this cabin is completely wrapped in teak. The bow flare is used for cubbies up forward. Port and starboard port lights plus 2 hatches overhead bring in the natural light. At waist height, there are small cabinets, port and starboard, for much needed storage. Overhead clearance in the cabin is 6 feet 4.5 inches. The master bed is 64 inches wide at the shoulder and tapers to 58 inches wide at the knee. The mattress platform is raised on twin hydraulic rams at the push of a button, and under it are 4 storage bins and access to the 15.5 horsepower side power electric bow thruster. The bed slides 1 foot aft so that it can be made up much easier, and this is the only boat we have ever seen with this work-saving feature. Aft, to both port and starboard, there are hanging lockers with drawers below. Overhead is a hidden emergency hatch right over the bed with a built-in step. The master has a private door with mirror to the ensuite head. The head has a separate shower stall that's a fiberglass module that solves lots of maintenance problems. The deck is marble. The overhead here is 6 feet 3.25 inches off the deck. A china sink is under a marble countertop. The starboard guest stateroom is entered through a space-saving pocket door. It has a single berth below that is 32 inches wide with a slide-out Pullman above. By having this slide-out arrangement instead of a fixed bunk, more room is available and the cabin has more of an open feel. Drawers and a hanging locker are provided. There are 2 port lights to the side. Next to the starboard stateroom is another pocket door behind which we find the stacked washer and dryer, something every long-range cruiser must have. The port guest stateroom, like all the rest, has an arched doorway. Inside we find twin beds and a slide-out Pullman outboard, so this stateroom can sleep 3. When the Pullman is open, it has a fabric lee board that snaps into the overhead. There are 2 opening port lights with storage in between. At the foot of the bed is a hanging locker with drawers beneath. The overhead clearance in both guest staterooms is 6 feet 5 inches high. A bifold door leads to the head for the 2 guest staterooms, as well as doubling as the day head. Like the master head, its shower stall is a fiberglass module with a marble deck. The sink is below a marble counter, and there's an opening port light above. This 3-stateroom layout suits the owner of this particular boat, but accommodation cabins can be configured in many different ways. For example, here's an alternative layout that Fleming recommends. But it's also possible to order a 2-stateroom layout with the master aft, or have the forward stateroom with V-berths, or even V-berths with slide-out Pullman bunks above for a cabin that sleeps 4. Basically, every Fleming is built one at a time, and no 2 are the same. And one more thing, the quality of the workmanship that has gone into this boat is unsurpassed in this class or nearly any other. There is a remarkable amount of teak used in this yacht, and that alone makes this boat stand out in this day and age, when teak in most boats is little more than some trim here and there. Of course, she's got a lot more to offer in terms of handling, range, and economy, but that's another video. Be sure to look for it. But for now, that's our features inspection of the Distance Cruising 55 from Fleming. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.